Adequate notice for this evening's meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Law 1975. Said notice is advertised in the Beacon, was posted on the bulletin boards showing the time and place. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. First up on the agenda for the caucus is proclamation for National Library Week. Library? Yeah, okay. Library Manager Becky Leopold. Upstairs, yes, okay. Am I reading it now?
Yes, you can read it now.
Okay. Whereas libraries are not just about what we have for people, but what they do for and with people. And whereas libraries of all types are the heart of cities, towns, schools, and campuses, whereas libraries have long served and trusted, treasured institutions where people of all backgrounds can be together and connect. Whereas libraries and librarians build strong communities through transformative services, programs, and expertise. And whereas libraries, which promote the free exchange of information and ideas, are all cornerstones of democracy. And whereas libraries promote civic engagement by keeping people informed and aware of community events and issues, whereas librarians and library workers partner with other civic organizations to make sure their community needs are being met. And whereas libraries and librarians empower their communities to make informed decisions by providing free access to information, whereas libraries are a resource for all members of the community, regardless of race, ethnicity, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or socioeconomic status, by offering services and educational resources that transform lives and strengthen communities. And whereas librarians, library workers, and supporters across America are celebrating National Library Week. Now therefore be resolved that I, Timothy McDonald, Mayor of Lacey Township, proclaim April 7th through the 13th, 2019 to be National Library Week. I encourage all residents to visit the library this week and explore what's new at your library and engage your librarian. Because of you, our libraries are equal strong communities. So I have this for you. I do want to say something about our library system. It's the best. I can get books on my pad. I don't even have to go to the library and get them. And you guys are always updating the books. And every time I go down there, I don't know if you had it with Meet the Mayor, they are just unbelievably courteous. It's just, and the people come out and it's just phenomenal.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Now, let me give you this.
I would like to say a few words as
Sure.
well. I'm not Becky, but I am here.
Oh, I didn't think so.
My name is Lori Sansone. I'm the circulation supervisor at the Lacey branch of the Ocean County Library, and I would also like to say a few words about how we connect people, build community, and transform lives. Lacey is one of 21 branches in the Ocean County Library, and when you have a library card, you can use any of the branches. You can get your card at the Lacey Library, but use them at any other branches, and we're so, as you said, vital to our community, and we're so much more than books. We have DVDs, CDs, video games, ebooks, movies that you can stream online from home. We have computers that you can use in a library. If you need some computer help, make an appointment with one of our librarians and they'll help you out. Programs, we have a wide variety of programs, and the best part is that they're all free. We have services for people who aren't able to get to the library, services for people that are homebound. We have a great volunteer program. The volunteers do a number of great things for the library. And one particular group of people is the Friends of the Lacey Library. They do a lot of great fundraising for us. There's two programs that the Friends will be sponsoring in April. One of them is on April 17th. It's for children ages 7 to 12, how to make the marshmallow treat Peeps. That's how to make them. Learn the recipes. They'll be doing that on April 17th.
Uh-oh.
I like Peeps, what can I tell you?
Yeah.
On the 25th, for teens ages 11 to 18, they will be learning how to make homemade scented candles. And again, that's on the 25th. Something else that will also be happening on the 25th, I have flyers if anyone is interested. If you feel like going to Perkins on that day, on the 25th, have the flyer with you, and 15% of your bill will go to the Friends of
that's
the
great.
Lacey Library, who do all these great things for us.
Good.
And lastly, the education initiative, we participate in that as well. The purpose of that is to ensure that every single child in Ocean County will get a library card and use all of our services. So come in and see us.
Fantastic. You had one of the best concerts I've ever been to last year, and that was the Carole King. I don't forget her name, but she was unbelievable. She did all Carole King cover. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
How's your mom doing?
Good.
Good.
Thank you.
We don't see her often.
I'll let her know you said hello.
Yeah, please do, please do. I haven't talked to her in a while. She hasn't called me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
That's Lorraine Sanson's daughter. Yeah.
All right. Number 2 on the agenda is proclamation of Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month. Lori.
Versilla.
What's that?
Lori Versilla.
Versilla.
And Tina Pilot.
Oh, okay. Okay, whereas we all have a responsibility as individuals, neighbors, community members, and citizens of Lacey Township to help create healthy, nurturing, and safe experiences for our children. And whereas the health and safety of childhood help produce confident, successful adults. And whereas child abuse and neglect often occur when people find themselves in stressful situations without community resources and don't know how to cope. Whereas the incidences of child abuse and neglect can be reduced by making sure all families have support they need and deserve to raise their children in healthy environments. Whereas court-appointed special advocates is authorized by state statute and federal law to help with court and child welfare systems make best interest decisions on behalf of children removed from home because of abuse or neglect. And whereas CASA workers, advocates in Lacey Township help to ensure that abused and neglected children who are placed in foster care and other out-of-home placements are safe and receive the services they need to achieve the well-being. Whereas CASA advocates reduce the number of moves between placements and help shorten the overall time a child remains in placement and serve as a constant person in the child's life until that child achieves permanency in a safe home with a loving family. And now therefore be resolved that I, Timothy McDonald, Mayor of Lacey Township, do hereby April 2009 as Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month in Lacey Township, and April 5th is CASA Child Advocacy Day 2019, and urge all citizens to support the CASA networks across New Jersey and strengthen families and help children learn, grow, and thrive. I have one question. How does someone get in touch with you people?
With the Women's Club or with CASA?
With CASA.
Ariane Yazdan is the Ocean County Executive Director. She has an office in Toms River. It's on her website. I could get you that information, the contact
No, I'm just curious
information.
for people out there that they see something, you're supposed to say something, I get that, do they call the police, what are they supposed to do?
Well, CASA is, as it says, a court-appointed special advocate for children, and people go through training for this, and then they follow children from when they're placed in foster care until they're out of foster care, and they make sure they get the services that they need. And so the Women's Club of Lacey has taken on CASA as their special state project for this year and the following year.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that is our special state project to raise funds for that. And our chairperson of our upcoming fundraiser is Tina Pilot, and she may want to say something.
Hi there. So I've been involved with CASA for over 5 years. We had a realtor committee support group in Ocean County Realtors that we always picked as charity. So in support with the Women's Club, we're doing CASA, it's Night of the 70s. It's May 17th. It's $35 per person. Spirits Unlimited right here in Lacey is going to do a wine and beer event for us, and we're going to have food and, like I said, a 70s theme. May 17th, right at the Knights of Columbus here in town, and they could contact either me or the Women's Club of Lacey or the Facebook page for Women's Club of Lacey for tickets.
That's what I said. Now, doesn't CASA do some kind of backpack program for kids back to school or something?
The Rotary.
Yeah, okay, that's what I
is
thought.
also a
Okay.
sponsor of CASA.
Yeah, yeah, we did
And
the-
they've just recently did a backpack. Yes.
All right, how can we help you ladies? what more can we do to help? Because this is near and dear.
Tina, can you send me off a flyer and I'll make sure we get it on our
Absolutely.
Facebook,
I'll get it
website,
tomorrow.
Facebook page?
Yes, and we have 200 tickets to sell.
Yeah, we're
200.
really looking for support.
I'll
We're
take a
really
couple, I'm
looking
not
for
gonna take
support for
200.
It should be a great night. It should be a great night. It's local. It's at the Knights of Columbus. And you stop in, you know, sample some wine and have something to eat.
What was the price for this ticket? $35?
$35. Spirits Unlimited is doing something special for us. The wine that is the 19 Crimes wine.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
When
yeah.
the wines
Right.
come to life, it's going to be an awesome event. And we also have craft beers. It'll be fun.
Right. Yeah. Whatever we can do to help you, we certainly do. You guys are great for Lacey.
We just need
Thank you very much.
permit.
Did you apply for that already? Did you do it?
We have it in our possession. We haven't
Okay.
We
completely
need help
filled it
filling
out.
it out.
Oh. We could give you a sample from the office. It's easy enough.
I'll be by tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, ask the girls to give it
Nice
to
to
you.
meet you.
Thank you so much for everything. I don't think it's that. Okay.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Pardon me. All right. Number 3. Special use permit, Popcorn Park Zoo, Rock to Adopt, September 14th and 15th.
This is the 8th annual Rock to Adopt, the music festival event that they hold out at Popcorn Park Zoo. This year, they've changed the date because it seemed to overlap with our change in our Lacey Day event. So they are 2 weeks earlier than us. They're looking to do September 14th and 15th. Obviously, Mrs. Rule has reviewed their site plan and has approved it. And in addition to that, they would like temporary signs up 1 week in advance of the event.
Motion on this?
Move it.
All in favor?
Aye.
That sounds pretty good, 20 bands.
It's usually a very good event.
All right, okay.
Motion to adjourn for this one? Anybody have add-ons or no?
Caucus,
Yeah.
anybody have items for caucus?
No? Motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Second? Thank you. Next?
Okay.
Bless you.
These items?
No, that's old. You don't have any tonight.
Okay. All right, moving right along. Township, okay, state. You get this goodbye, please.
Yeah, what's going on?
What's that look? Adequate notice for the season meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act pursuant to public laws of 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon was posted on the bulletin boards showing the time and place of the meeting. Please rise to the flag. A moment of silence. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First one up, second reading of the ordinance 2019-01 setting salaries for seasonal employees.
In order to the Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, amending an ordinance entitled, in order to the Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, fixing and determining the salaries, wages, and compensations of the officers, employees, and members of the governing body of the township. This is setting the salaries for seasonal employees for recreation, public works, special law enforcement officers, Class 1 and Class 2 and Class 3, and this is in accordance with the new minimum wage law. We're doing the salary ordinance out for 19, 20, and 21 at this point. Second reading, open the floor.
Open the floor to the public comment on this reading.
Seeing none, motion to close the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion on the ordinance.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor McDonald?
Yes. Number 2, second reading of ordinance 2019-02, authorizing the exchange of certain lands with the state of New Jersey.
In order to the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the exchange of certain lands within the Township of Lacey, whereby the Township shall acquire Block 315, Lot 28, as part of an exchange of lands pursuant to NJSA 48:12-16. The State of New Jersey and the Township has finally come to an agreement, and we're swapping Block 3300, Lot 8, which is a piece of property off of Wells Mills Road that the DEP owns all the surrounding property, and we are finally going to acquire the Jones Road soccer fields, which we've been leasing from the state of New Jersey since 1971. And now all I'm waiting for is the State House to sign the deed. So I don't know how many years that will take, but the deeds have all been approved as to format, and I'm just waiting for them to be signed, and they will send them to me, and I will then record them at the county recording, because that may take a very long time if I waited for the state to do that. So
Another 48 years?
at least. So can I have open the floor to public comment?
Yeah, everybody? open the floor.
Seeing none, motion to close the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Take a motion on this ordinance?
Move it.
Second?
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor McDonald?
Yes.
Thank goodness.
All right, second reading of ordinance 2019-03, accepting the dedication of a public roadway.
In order to the Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, accepting the dedication of a public roadway. This is the roadway, it's an unnamed roadway at this point, that goes down into Kearney Bank. It is being turned over as a public right-of-way, and the final amounts of the improvements of that will be done by the developer that owns the remaining parcels. Open the floor.
Comment on this? Yes. Come on down.
Harry Bender, Historic Bay Avenue. What is the purpose of our acceptance of this piece of road?
It was supposed to be done when the site plan and the subdivision was done. It was just never turned over from Kearney Bank to
Kearney
us. Yes.
So is there any plans? I mean, it's just going to be
It's just gonna be another
stuff?
road like any other road in the town, and then eventually the subdivision that will be built behind it, he will have a connecting road to that.
So it's going to connect up,
Yeah.
go right into the subdivision?
Another
Yes.
entrance into that division.
Yes, go right into that
You'll
subdivision,
be able to
yes.
come off of Laura Boulevard on the other side of 9 into that, and then also off of,
So that subdivision is somewhere between Laurel and where it
It's-
is?
Yes,
So it's the property right in between, so you
Yes.
have two entrances?
Right.
into
yes.
it.
right.
Okay, all right, thanks very much.
Any other comments from the public?
Seeing none, motion to close the floor.
Move it.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, take a motion on this, right?
Motion on the ordinance.
Motion on the ordinance?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor McDonald?
Yes. Excuse me. First reading of ordinance 2019-05, establishing a cap bank.
In order to the Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New
Oh,
Jersey.
you missed one.
Yeah, I was
Four.
gonna say. Can you go four first?
Yeah, I am screwing up tonight, aren't I?
That's it, you're fired.
Steve, you're taking over. First reading of ordinance 2019-04, adopting a redevelopment plan.
In order to the Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, adopting a redevelopment plan for blocks 1852 lot 1 through 48, block 1853 lots 1 through 48, and block 1837.01 lot 8.06 pursuant to NJSA 48:12-A-7. This is for Phase 3 of the Walters Development Group project. This is the parcel of land next to, on the west side of Ocean First Bank, and the properties behind that. This is to complete our court-ordered settlement with regards to the prior rounds with the COA for the additional 70 units that the township has to construct.
Move it, motion?
Okay.
Move it.
Second?
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Abstain.
Mayor McDonald?
Yes. No, I gotta get my, first reading of ordinance 2019-05, establishing a cap bank.
In order to the Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank in accordance with NJSA 48:4-45.14. Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor McDonald?
Yes. Resolution 2019-102, authorizing the self-examination of the municipal budget.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the Township of Lacey to assume the responsibility of conducting the annual budget examination. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor McDonald?
Yes. Resolution 2019-103, certifying the government body complies with the hiring practices of the EEOC.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, certifying governing body compliance with the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's enforcement guide on the consideration of arrest and conviction records and employment decisions under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This is one of those new legislations that came into place in 2017, and prior to us adopting our budget, we need to, of course, adopt this resolution.
Have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor McDonald?
Resolution,
Spill your water, too?
I'm having a hell of a night, let me tell you.
I tried to be discreet about it.
Resolution 2019-104, introducing the 2019 municipal budget.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, introducing the local municipal budget of the Township of Lacey for the fiscal year 2019. General appropriations for municipal purposes, $31,423,963. Reserve for uncollected taxes, $1,111,537. Total general appropriations, $32,535,500. Less anticipated revenues of $17,501,500. Amount to be raised for taxes for the support of this municipal budget is $15,034,000. This will be published in the Beacon on April 4th. We will be having our public hearing on this on April 25th. Ms. Cabello, would you like to add any comments with our budget?
Sure. Tonight, we introduce on time and within caps the 2019 budget. The tax increase is 1.3 cents over last year's. What that means for the homeowners, if your average assessed home is $278,100, you expect to pay $41.38 more annually. If you break that out, it's $10.34 a quarter, or $3.44 a month. We used a little more surplus this year because we had it, which keeps the tax rate down. The public hearing will be on April 25th at 7 p.m. if anyone has any comments at that time.
The budget will be posted on our website probably by tomorrow.
Yeah, also.
Make a motion?
Move it.
Second, please.
Second. Sorry, I was drinking coffee.
Do it tomorrow.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor McDonald?
Yes. All right, resolution 2019-105, amending the temporary operating budget.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, providing for emergency temporary operating budget in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 48:4-20. This is, again, we do this in January, we do this in March. We won't need to worry about this once we have the budget in place in April.
Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor McDonald?
Yes. Resolution 2019-106, opposing New Jersey becoming a sanctuary state.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, opposing New Jersey becoming a sanctuary state and resolving that Lacey Township never becomes a sanctuary city.
Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor McDonald?
Yes. Resolution 2019-107, awarding a contract for auto parts.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, awarding contracts for the purchase of auto parts to Advanced Fastener Industries, Barlow Automotive, Beach Haven Automotive, Eastern Warehouse Distributors, Chapman Ford Sales, and Grand Turk Equipment Company. This is all in accordance with the Stafford Township Cooperative Pricing System.
Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor McDonald?
Yes. Resolution 2019-108, authorizing refund of deposits.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the refund of deposits held for the use of municipal facilities.
Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor McDonald?
Yes. Resolution 2019-109, authorizing the payment of township bills.
Resolution of Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the payment of township bills in the amount of $777,043.18.
Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes, with noted abstention, 01021.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
And Mayor McDonald?
Yes. Motion to approve township meeting minutes of March 14th, 2019.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Abstain.
Mr. Dykoff abstained. Motion to approve caucus meeting minutes of March 14th, 2019.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Abstain.
Mr. Dykoff also abstains from that. Motion to approve raffle licenses for the Forked River Tuna Club and the Rotary Club of Forked River.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve raffle license amendment for the Rotary Club of Forked River.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comment.
Yeah, we got the same problem tonight.
Comments from the committee? And Deputy Mayor Kennis?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to just thank all the finance office and all our department heads for managing their budgets so well this year. 1.3 cents is, that might be the lowest increase since I've been on here. That's pretty low. Might be. So I just want to thank everybody for all their hard work on the budget. I also, yesterday, Veronica and myself went to Trenton in support of our Lacey's plan endorsement before the State Planning Commission. It went reasonably well. We're supposed to have a revised plan implementation agreement from the State Planning Commission in the next couple weeks, and if all goes well, we'll be on the final agenda in April or May. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Committeeman Giuliano.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I was just notified, Skip McClosey, which is on the MUA commission, is in the hospital. I'm going to visit him tomorrow. I really don't know what's going on, but I'll be, keep him in his prayers and his family. He's a good man. I'm so happy about the Sanctuary City thing. That's a great thing. And I know, Mr. Curtatoli, you're happy about the marijuana.
As a matter of fact, I am. Committeeman Giuliano.
Very
Surprising.
good, right?
It hasn't been, it's not the war.
I see the mayor was there. We visited Tony's 40th anniversary, Tony's Workwear. I remember it as Tony's Merchandise. Not only was he a fellow businessman, I knew Tony for many, many years, since I've been a kid, matter of fact. I met him up in North Jersey at my uncle's restaurant, and we got to realize that when he was down in Waretown, he had that little place down there. A quick little story, I was stopping by as I was coming home from work one time. I seen this limo sitting out front of this little place there, and I knew it was Tony's place. I stopped in there, and I got to meet Sylvester Stallone. He was in the limo. Tony was his bodyguard. They were going to Newark Airport to drop him off. He had to pick him up some shirts because he came in with no shirts or nothing. He flew right on in. So Tony was a good man. He was he told you the way he felt, and that's why I really appreciated him. Caffrey's, everybody's been going by there, looking good. They're really pushing. I hope they can do it in record time. Putting the roof on today was no doubt a plus in their favor, getting out of that weather so they can really work inside quite quickly. Let's see. April. I think April, Mayor, if it's okay, I think maybe we should start inviting again the volunteer organizations to come in and speak.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Absolutely.
Let them come in one by one and come and speak about what they do and how we can help them.
Yeah.
And what they need to do.
We'll get working on that.
Yeah. And as always, I'd like to thank our fire, first aid, the dive team, and all the workers in the township for the great job that they do to make Lacey the way it is and what we have in this town today. I want to thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Committeeman Dykoff.
Thank you, Mayor. I do want to wish Skip McCloskey and his family the best. Skip is a good man. Known him for a long time. Dedicated resident, member of the MUA. Just a real all-around good guy. Not a Democrat, not a Republican, just a good guy. Really intelligent, thoughtful. I want to thank Mr. Vello, Veronica, and their staffs for working on this budget. It was a tough one. I particularly want to point out, and something, an ordinance we passed tonight setting the salaries for seasonal employees. And of note there are our employees of the Recreation Department, the seasonal employees. Because the difficulty with the increase in the minimum wage really affected that department immensely. I mean, and our Recreation Director, Jim Weiland, really worked hard at minimizing the impact that that had to his budget and to the residents of the township. I don't know, I read where, unfortunately, our governor forgot to put that into his budget. The impact of the minimum wage. Well, fortunately, our Recreation Director didn't. So we're ahead of the curve, and I appreciate that. I had the pleasure and the good fortune to travel recently, and I went to England and Scotland, and my wife and I, fortunate, and we started to travel a little bit overseas, and something I found that's real striking. We live in a great country. I got to tell you, you go overseas, and it's a big difference. And they're jealous. You know, I spoke to quite a few people in London, and they look up to us. But I'll tell you, you drive around there, and you look around there, and you look at the things we have, the services, and the shape of our cities. I mean, you go to New York, go to Philadelphia, and you say, oh, you know, it's a city. And go to London, and you want to see a cluster, you'll see it. So, you know, it's a great country. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Committeeman Curtatello.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple brief comments tonight. I too want to thank everyone that's worked hard on the budget. I think everyone can be proud of the very minimal uptick in the municipal portion that you'll see on your tax bill. And they say many hands make for light work. These are the folks up here that did it, but not really up here and behind the scenes. Our employees, and that's who really deserves the accolades, and we all appreciate that, and we've all been above board with that sentiment as well. Our Memorial Day Parade is coming. Our Veterans Commission Chairman's name is Bernard Snyder. He asked me to talk a little about that today. The step-off will be at 10 a.m. on Memorial Day, and I asked twice. He said it was okay, so I'm going to give out his cell phone number. His cell phone number, if anybody has questions, if you're part of a civic organization or a teacher and you want to involve some folks, part of what makes Lacey great to me are parks, our people, but our parades as well. Telephone number 609-276. 609-276-1775. 609-276-1775. He's our chairman. Of course, he's a veteran, he's a Marine, and he's someone that we all respect a great deal. Any questions, please call him. We want everybody to participate. It's a great event. I too would like to recognize Tony's Merchandise. I know the Committeeman Giuliano was there, along with our mayor and many other folks. This is a 45-year anniversary, so congratulations to them. I also want to mention that the other day we're at a ribbon cutting at the Hart Building at 731 Lacey Road, and our continuing effort and promise to bring good ratables to the town. We have RWJ Barnabas Healthcare has a new primary care facility on the lower floor over there now. So this is a state-of-the-art, thousands of square feet in the bottom of that building, new operatories. We were fortunate enough to take a tour. Mayor was good enough to cut a ribbon, and we met some of the people over there. So I want to thank them for being part of our town, and I know that a lot of our folks are going to be visiting over there as well. I want to thank the mayor and everyone that had a hand in passing the resolution tonight about Sanctuary State. I can't underscore it enough. To me, it's the most important thing, because residency in this country, to me, is the greatest gift that God ever gave mankind. You change the language and you try to win the argument. That's attacked by a certain group of people politically, not any other way, not demographically. So when you hear insurgent, it's not, it's a terrorist. When you hear that somebody is undocumented, really, it's illegal activity. That's an illegal alien. And recently we've heard that recreational marijuana is, quote, therapeutic. So I don't need a spa anymore, I guess. We're good with that. But I'm not gonna harp on that. I'm just glad that these things are breaking the way that they are. And people know right where I stand on an issue. My beliefs are core beliefs. They're not up for debate or discussion. I believe that every nation has a right to their sovereignty. Every nation has a right to defend their borders. And there's a process for people to go through. And when you start to abuse that process, it's unfair to the folks that have gone through it the right way. So the law are the guide rails of society. Without them, we have chaos. I think that's about it. That's about it, Mayor. Thank you for your time.
Okay, I got a few things here. This was last Saturday night, I got to attend the Forked River Fire Company installation dinner. It's always the last one, and it's always a good one. And I just want to reach out to all our EMS and our first responders and say thank you for the job that you do. Sometimes we don't thank you enough, and what we do. So if anybody's out there and you see these guys and they're out there doing, just give them a little pat on the back because they do it for free. Yes, Tony's 40th. Nick and I were there. He had a Maserati there that I got to sit in. Again, the bucket list thing. But one of the big things is that Tony Jr.'s father was a big fireworks fan. Huge fireworks fan. And in honor of the 40th anniversary, Tony's has decided to donate, to double the budget for our fireworks this July 4th. So it's about $10,000. So it's going to be, instead of about 12 minutes, it'll be about 24 minutes long.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was big, and he's just a great guy over there, and doing a great job. And you know, I was talking to Camille and Giuliano about it because you and I both remember just Tony's merchandise and stuff all over the place piled up. And Tony has just young Tony has neatened it up, I want to say. But you and I both agreed that was the father's personality, was stuff packed all over the place. So it was a good time there. The sanctuary estate. I don't even know where to begin with this thing. This is just.
Thank you, sorry.
God bless you.
I'm not even going to go further. We're against it full force. This is just, and the thing that really bothers me is this is all about money. This is the underground economy, getting government benefits for people that don't belong there, so they can keep them going. That's all this is about. If we shut down those benefits, not a single politician in the world would be for this, and I can't believe they're for it. It just doesn't make any sense. I did text Commitment Cordicello on Monday afternoon to let him know that the marijuana bill failed, and he was very ecstatic about that. And the other thing that I saw, I guess it was yesterday or maybe the day before, is, and I had talked to some people about this because I was very concerned about the medical marijuana and them loosening the criteria. And I had talked to several people about that because I was afraid that's where they were going to go, because I had heard that they were 5 or 6 votes short in the Senate about the medical, and they were going to try to get the loosening up and get it in that way. And I saw where Governor Murphy pulled that too. So that's another good thing. So where does this go from here? He's got about another 60 to 80 days to try to get it through. And if not, then my guess is not till next year, because I don't think it'll come back up in September, right before the election. It's too controversial, and every assemblyman is up this year, so we have to worry about that.
Excuse me, one second. I think his exact words were, if it doesn't go through this time,
Okay.
we'll leave it alone, and he ain't going after it. No.
Let's hope and pray that's what happens.
It's a good thing.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is. And all you Mets, Yankees, and Phillies fans should be happy today. They all won. The boys this summer are back at it, and I'm ecstatic. It's just a great time with baseball. All right, the budget. I want to really reach out to Linda and Veronica and say thank you. They have been working on this budget a long time, and to come in where we have 1 penny and 3 tenths is just incredible. And at one time we were at 1.5, a penny and a half, and we were working hard. They're working hard. And I want to thank the Township Committee for their efforts to get this down to 1 penny and 3 tenths. And we're set up for next year too, so that we can have a good budget next year. And that's the important thing. Is we're starting to look long-term with this stuff, so that the following year, even after going 2 years out, we should be in pretty good shape going forward. Next Wednesday at Community Hall is Volunteer Night. This is something we started last year. It's where all the service organizations and stuff come together in one room. And if you get a chance to want to join an organization or find out about an organization, you can go down there and meet them instead of just trying to track somebody down via phone or a website or something like that. You can go down and talk to them in person. Recycling. As the weather gets nicer, I'm sure, I know I am, cleaning out the shed, the garage, and everything else like that, and we need to be very, very careful as to what is garbage and what is recyclable. Go on the website, look at it. If you have any questions, put it off to the side and call and make sure, because this is critical to us. It's $200,000 directly to our bottom line. And if we lost that, that would be a huge, huge problem for us. I was able to cut the ribbon over at Barnabas, and that's just a fantastic building. 6,000 square feet. We're going to have 4 docks there, and that's as far south as they're going to go. They're not going to go down into Man or Hawkins. So St. Barnabas, this will be the last one. It's a great, great office there, brandy new. So go to that, and I do want to reach out to Skip McCloskey and his family and wish him nothing but the best of luck and prayers to him. So, because he is a great, great guy. And that's all that I have. All right, let me open this up to the public. Does the public have any comments here this evening?
Great, let me close the door.
You guys are fast enough.
You have to keep the floor open for the people.
You were deciding?
We were deciding.
Okay.
Regina DeSenda, Sunset Drive, Sunrise Beach. I just wanted to verify that in this township, the tax appeal deadline is April 1st.
Correct. And it's in the county, not just this
Oh,
township.
it's the whole county?
Yes,
Okay,
it's
I wasn't
standard.
sure if it was like, okay. And I just want to let everyone know that if people like to come out on April 15th, tax day, it's the next school board meeting at 7 p.m. Thanks.
Any other comments from the public? Come on down.
Mr. Bender's the right
Once again, Barry Bender, Historic Bay Avenue. Just want to comment on the sanctuary state overall. People should follow the law when they come into this country, but a lot of times it hasn't been followed. I agree that the law should be followed, but along the same lines, there are a lot of people out there that, bash the people who are here illegally. But the thing we have to remember, I accuse a lot of those people of being very hypocritical, because those people would not be here if they had no place to live and they had no place to work. Okay, so those people who give the undocumented the availability, place to live, and they give them a place of employment are just as guilty as the illegals who are here. My opinion, just wanted to reinforce that.
Yep.
Thanks very much.
Any other comments from the public?
Seeing none, motion to close the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, resolution to go into executive?
Resolution 2019-110, a resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the convening of executive session to discuss anticipated pending litigation, personnel matters, and contractual matters. Motion?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
And Mayor McDonald?
Yes, I'm going to.
Motion to adjourn,
Motion to
please.
adjourn.
Move it.
Second.
Second.
All in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to screw you up. I had a rotten night, you're going to have a rotten night.